European travelers to the United States often observed that Americans' belief in endless progress had rendered them seemingly immune to tragedy. But in writing Moby Dick, Melville invented characters and events that confronted his American readers in particular with the tragic knowledge they had averted. These characters and the tragic events they underwent were based on actually existing historical figures Melville had himself encountered. On December 30, 1840, at the age of 21, Melville signed up as an ordinary sea hand for the maiden voyage of the whaler, the Acushnet. The ship's captain, one Valentine Pease, was, like Ahab, a megalomaniac. The Acushnet's first mate, Edward C. Starbuck, was forcibly discharged on Tahiti because of his resistance to Captain Pease's erratic command. Melville himself jumped ship on the Marquesas Islands 18 months after he set out. In addition to his own experiences on board the Acushnet, Melville heard stories of factual events that would later serve as genesis for Moby Dick. The first of these involved the sinking in 1820 of the Nantucket ship, the Essex, after it was rammed by an enraged 85-foot bull sperm whale. One of the 8 survivors of this catastrophe, the Essex's first mate, Owen Chase, recorded the events in his 1821 narrative of the most extraordinary and distressing shipwreck of the whale ship Essex. During a mid-ocean gam, that is a rendezvous between ships, Melville met Chase's son, William Chase, who lent him his father's book. Melville later wrote, "The reading of this wondrous story on the landless sea, and so close to the very latitude of the shipwreck, had a surprising effect on me." In the copy of Chase's narrative that his father-in-law, Justice Lemuel Shaw, later procured for him, Melville underlined a passage describing a very large spermaceti whale, about 85 feet in length, heading directly at the Essex as it fired with revenge, coming down apparently with twice his ordinary speed and with tenfold fury and vengeance in his aspect. The second of the influencing events to which I've referred involved the killing in the late 1830s of Mocha Dick, a gigantic albino sperm whale that, at the time of its death, had more than 20 harpoons in its back from other whalers that had attacked with what seemed to the crew premeditated ferocity. Melville was familiar with an account of Mocha Dick's final battle that the explorer Jeremiah N. Reynolds published in the May 1839 issue of the New York Monthly Magazine. He wrote, "This renowned monster, who had come off victorious in 100 fights with his pursuers, was an old bull whale of prodigious size and strength. As he drew near with his long, curved back looming occasionally above the surface of the billows, we perceived that it was white as the surf around him, and the men stared aghast at each other as they uttered in a suppressed tone the terrible name of Mocha Dick." While hunting the Pacific off the Galapagos Islands in August of 1851, the whaler Anne Alexander became the second vessel since the Essex to be attacked, gored, and sunk by a sperm whale. When he heard this news, Melville, who was readying his epic tragedy for its October publication, remarked, "Ye gods, what a commentator is this Anne Alexander whale. What he has to say is short and pithy and very much to the point. I wonder if my evil art has raised this monster."